what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go through how we actually sketch a general form of an absolute value function. So we have an absolute value function in this form, y is equal to absolute value of ax plus b. To sketch it, we've got these 3 steps. Find the x-intercept by substituting y is equal to 0. And this is kind of like the vertex of your graph. So this is where the v happens. That's the tip of the v. The next part is then you find the y-intercept by substituting x is equal to 0. And so you've got another point that you can graph. This is if that's possible. Sometimes that is not going to be possible. And then the graph is going to be symmetrical about the vertex. So for example, let's have a go at sketching this graph here. So y is equal to 3x, the absolute value of 3x plus 6. Okay, first step, I'm going to find the x-intercept. I'm going to substitute y is equal to 0. So I've got 0 is equal to the absolute value of 3x plus 6. Basically what I'm doing here is I'm just solving for what's inside my equation. So here I've got 3x plus 6 is equal to 0. 3x is equal to negative 6. X is equal to minus 2. So my x-intercept is at when x is equal to minus 2. Then the second step is to find the y-intercept, which is when we substitute x is equal to 0. So y is going to be equal to absolute value of 0 plus 6, which is just 6. Okay, so I've got my two, my 2 points, my 2 intercepts, and I also know that the graph is symmetrical about the vertex. So when I plot it on, where the vertex is, it's just going to be symmetrical either side of that vertex. So let's draw this. And the vertex, yes, that's fine. So let me draw this. Got x, y. I'm going to put on my, my x-intercept. So at negative 2. I've got my y-intercept at 6. This is evidently not to scale, but that's fine. Now, because x is equal to negative 2 is an x-intercept and there's a y-intercept at 6, that means when I move across 2 units, so here, because I moved across 2 units, I'm going to go up 6 units. So on the other side, when I go across 2 units to negative 4, it's also going to be equal to 6 at that point. So here, once I've got that, I'm just going to draw on my 2 sides of my equation. So here we go, that's the first side, and that's the second side. And so here we've got y is equal to absolute value of 3x plus 6. So there we go. So when we're sketching the absolute value function, a graph of an absolute value function, these are the steps we do. We go find the x-intercept, find the y-intercept, and then it's symmetrical about that vertex. Have a go at the questions in the textbook, and if you need any help, I'm more than happy to answer your questions either via email or via the Google Classroom. There's also the form I post up on Google Classroom. I haven't checked that in a while, but I will shortly. But yeah, feel free to ask me any questions that you have, Year 11s, and stay safe, stay healthy, stay wonderful, and I'll see you when I next see you.